Many genres in professional writing require primary research. One type of primary research is interviewing subject matter experts to gather information, data, or stories. There is an art to conducting the interview. Depending on your purpose and audience, an interview can help you gather details you can't find using traditional research sources. Some of these examples include interviewing a subject matter expert to help fill in gaps in the data, or perhaps you need details from witnesses to a specific event. Other times, a personal anecdote can provide a human element to a certain story, or perhaps the main focus of your writing is a profile or case study, and interviewing someone will help get you those details. Before you get on the phone or send that email, there are a few steps you need to take prior to the interview. The first step is understanding your assignment. As you remember, this is part of the pre-writing process, as well as knowing your purpose and audience. For example, does your audience need to know how your subject matter expert conducted the research, or maybe they just need to know the details? Remember to ask yourself all those questions as you analyze your audience. Step 2 involves researching your subject. It's important that you understand a little bit about the person you are interviewing as well as the topic so that you don't spend time during the interview asking them questions that you could gain through your own research. For example, if I were interviewing someone about the Pacific Garbage Patch, I wouldn't want to ask them about their education or to define the garbage patch. This is information I can find through my own research. For step 3, you need to create a list of questions that satisfies the assignment requirements and also helps you fill in gaps in data. Keep your list of questions short. Remember, the person you are interviewing doesn't have a lot of time. So consider no more than 10 questions. So you may be wondering how many questions you should ask. If you are only seeking a quote to support a claim, maybe ask 2 to 3 questions. If you're profiling someone, 7 to 10 questions is usually pretty good. Consider that 2 to 3 questions equals 15 minutes, and if you're asking around 10 questions, you're looking at 30 to 45 minutes. The fourth step is to make contact with the person you are interviewing. Either make a phone call or send them an email giving them details about who referred you, what your purpose is, and how long the interview might take, as well as good contact information for you. So a sample phone call or email might sound like this. Hello, Dr. Linden. My name is Sharon Ross, and I'm a student in a professional writing class. I'm writing a project about the Pacific Garbage Patch and would like to get your insight. I don't think it'll take more than 20 minutes. Do you have time to answer a few questions? Or we can set up a time, or I can send you the questions via email. Let me know what works best for you. The fifth step is conducting the actual interview. Start with a little small talk to break the ice, and then ask your subject if they're ready to dive into the interview. Use open-ended questions and begin with the easy ones to build rapport, working your way up to the more complex or tough questions at the end. Don't be afraid to go off script. Sometimes you gather all the information you need because your expert is talking about something they're passionate about and answers all of your questions. So don't feel pressured to ask each one of them. When you're done with the interview, wrap up by asking them if there's anything they'd like to add. Sometimes you get some real gems with that last question. And most importantly, thank them for their time. Citations for the personal interview can be just the signal phrase. For example, according to Dr. Linden, or Dr. Linden said. And be sure to note your person's education and background or connection to the topic when you first introduce them or first quote them. When you include personal interviews in your research, it adds depth to your final product and can help fill in data gaps. Remember to prepare for the interview, make a list of questions, make contact with your interview subject, make sure you stay within your time frame, and thank them for their time.